Welcome to the Core Women Podcast, the place for women entrepreneurs, authors, and self-starters looking to build community and gain valuable insights through expert interviews with women at the top of their game. Join your host, podcaster, producer, expert coach, entrepreneur, and author, Dr. Summer Watson, as she aims to inspire and empower you through these candid conversations. Lean in and embrace the journey. It's time to start the show. Here's your host, Dr. Summer Watson.
Today on the show, I'd like to welcome Val Roskens Tews, who is the owner of Butterfly Copywriting. Val is a writer who loves to help people shine through writing and also to create an impact. She is currently working with people to support them by creating copy and content for LinkedIn. I have been connected with Val for the past 2 years, and I have been witness to her incredible giving spirit to support others on LinkedIn. Her support is heartfelt and shines through in her writing and the time she takes to nurture her social media relationships. We have so much to chat about today, Val, so let's jump right into this, and welcome.
Thank you. It's a delight to be here with you, Summer. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So before we delve into your professional journey, can you describe your life in one word to this point?
One word, I would say grateful. I'm grateful because, to start out with, my faith is important to me. As a believer in Jesus, he has helped me. I have an incredible family and 4 little grand blessings, which they're my joy. So I'm grateful for my family, for my friends, and I'm grateful for the relationships that I have made on LinkedIn. And if you had said to me before COVID that I would have friends, people I consider friends, that I have never met in person, I would have said you're crazy. But I have met people on LinkedIn that I have gone from a connection to a relationship to a friendship. And not a lot, but some, and it's been amazing to me. And so I'm just grateful as to where I'm at in life and that I have the life that I do.
Oh, I love hearing that. And I love that I can consider you one of my friends, that we've nurtured this relationship over the last 2 years. And I've seen how much you support our community. And I'm in such gratitude for that as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your passion for writing and how that developed.
Well, actually, I've wanted to be a writer since I was in 2nd grade, when my teacher introduced me to storytelling. All through elementary, all through high school, it was, I want to be a writer. And when I went to college, I went to the University of Iowa for journalism and public relations. And not all my jobs have been related to writing, but a lot of them have. And a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I was able to start my own business as a copywriter. And now I can focus completely on writing. And that's, like I said, it's been my passion for a long time.
I love that. And which leads me to my next question. What was the impetus for starting your own business?
I've seen, snippets here and there about copywriters, and it's like freelance writing and just writing for other people. And that's what lights me up, is helping people tell their story and see the light go on in their eyes as they're telling me their story and going, oh yeah. Because sometimes, and I know you've done this too, you start talking to somebody, and as you talk to that person, you get either clarity about what you're talking about, or your passion just lights up the room. And I love helping people tell their story, because I realize not everybody likes to write. I do. Like, numbers are not my specialty, but I love words. Words have power. And helping people write is something I've loved to do for a long time, whereas some people are really good with numbers and math and all that. So it's fun to see people just light up, and I can help them tell their story. And when they get done, they're like, wow, I'm so glad I could share that.
I love that, because it is so important. Words do have meaning. They have intention. They are powerful. And it is important to tell a story, to tell your story, especially as a business owner, which leads me to my next question. How did you come up with the name of Butterfly Copywriting? Why that name?
Well, it goes back to, in March 2018, we lost my dad very unexpectedly. He had a brain bleed, and within 24 hours, he was gone. And my granddaughter was born 6 months later in September of 2018. She has, not had, has, twin brothers who were 2.5 years older than her. And I was holding her. We were sitting out on the deck, so in September, and they were playing in the yard. And this monarch butterfly came right by us. It was almost as if it was going to kiss the baby. And then it flew up into the tree and it stayed there for a few more seconds and then it flew away. My daughter lives in Southwest Minnesota. So there weren't a lot of them. So when you saw one, it wasn't totally rare, but it wasn't common, at least for me. And I immediately thought of my dad and how he was saying, it's going to be okay. There's hope, there's love. You need to share that with others. That was his legacy to me. Love God and serve him, love people and serve them. And he was my hero. So that butterfly made me think of him. And then later that afternoon, twins and I were on a walk and we were going by an empty lot. And there was that monarch, I think it was the same monarch, on a dandelion. And it stayed long enough for me to take a picture. And I have that picture on my desk. And that to me was, again, my sign from my dad. Don't give up. Yeah, there's lots of bad things in the world, but there's a lot of good. There's a lot of hope. Share the hope, share the love. That just seemed to me the name I was looking for, Butterfly Copywriting, because writing is what I want to do. And butterfly just is my symbol. It's my sign. This is my power sign.
Oh my goodness. It's not just your sign, but it seems like it also aligns with your values. I see you modeling those values every day. I mean, every day on LinkedIn.
I'm trying.
You
I'm trying.
do, and it is obvious. It is lovely to see someone like you bring that spirit into a social media platform. It is with authenticity and intention and kindness that I love seeing, being witness to, and you're such a great model that I see people feeding off that, and it's nice to see. It is wonderful. So thank you for being such an uplifting part of our community. Your spirit is needed in the world. So thank you. And I love that origin story of how you came up with the name Butterfly Copywriting. Now, this gets me to my next question, copywriting. What are the different ways that you can support people and solve a pain point for them?
Well, I would say for a lot of people, if they're on LinkedIn, that means that they need to post content. I see LinkedIn in two ways. You need to comment on other people's posts, which is very important to support the people, but you also need to, in order for people to get to know who you are, post your own content on your own page. And I realize there's a lot of people who either don't like to write or don't have the time. I like to write and I am making the time. And what I like to do is help people with their writing, because most people have great ideas and lots that they want to share, but they don't know how to write it, or words just kind of escape them. I like to say I turn conversations into content. Get on a Zoom call, let's talk about it. I take your words in your voice and create the content. I think one of the big buzzwords, right, is your personal brand, your personality shining through. If you share who you are authentically and with integrity and kindness and love, people are going to know that. And through your words is one way to convey that. I like to help people put their words, their thoughts, organize it into writing, and then they have the content to share on their LinkedIn page.
That is so helpful. And that is certainly going to help solve and support others in that pain point. I love your tagline too. I turn conversations into content.
I was talking to somebody the other day. We were in a small group and it was like, what do you do? And we just started talking, how you just back and forth, tell what you do. And somebody said, oh, well, you turn conversations into content. I went, oh, I like that one. Write that one down. So I didn't come up with it, but I'm going to use it.
I love it because it is a great tagline for what you do. And you do so much. helping people with copy is so critical. It helps support branding, it helps support marketing, and it helps support their story. Now, somebody's personal story is what attracts others. It's that emotional component. And for you to be able to tap into that emotion that will resonate with their target market is so valuable.
It's fun to talk to somebody. And sometimes they're like, oh, I don't have a story. I don't have anything. I totally disagree with that statement. Everyone has a success story, everyone. And it's so much fun to start talking to somebody and helping them find their inner greatness as they start talking to me. For example, I helped a couple who bought a well-established construction company, and they're like, we know we need to tell our story, but we don't know how to do it. And so we got on a Zoom call, and it was really fun because they started talking to each other when I'd ask them the question. And I think a couple times they forgot I was there. But when we got done, they went, oh, I like how you put it, because we didn't realize that that's how you see us. And I'm like, yes. The other way I like to say it is I'd love to help you shine through writing, because everybody can shine. You just maybe don't know the words to put down. Well, just talk to somebody. The shine is going to come through. What you believe in, who you are. It's so much fun to help people find their inner greatness and help them shine then by putting the words down on paper.
I'm going to reach back to something you said, and that is when people start talking. A lot of people don't even know where to begin. So when someone like you starts talking and knows the prompts to elicit that conversation, that connection, to dig deeper into that emotional story, that's really helpful, because a lot of people are like, I don't have a story. I don't know what to say. There are those people. But then there are those other folks that want to tell their whole story, and what we call in like the clinical field, circumstantial. So they want to start at the very beginning and have you take you through this incredible loop that takes forever to the point, right?
Yes.
And you're like, oh my God. What happens then is you've got to take that story and find something within that context of that story that will speak to people immediately.
Yes.
So the skill set that you have and how you can generate a story from that content is so valuable.
And so much fun.
And I love that you bring fun into it, because that's the whole thing. Even before we got onto this interview, we were having a lot of fun in our conversation. So I know that the people that work with you will not only find value in what you do, and you're going to help them solve a pain point, but they're going to have fun doing it.
I hope so. I want to have fun, so I want the person I'm talking to also have fun.
Well, you folks out there can't see Val, but as she's talking, she's getting animated, and it's a lot of fun watching her. So knowing that the people that will work with her are going to have a lot of fun, and they're going to have a story, their story that's going to speak to their target market, to their audience. That's going to help in so many ways. So we've covered quite a bit here about your business, butterfly copywriting, how you solve a pain point or multiple pain points for people, and also your journey and your own story, which I loved hearing about. I loved hearing about the origin of how you came up with the name for your business. As we come to the close of this interview, my last question is, if you were to leave the listeners with one tip to support their journey, what would it be?
Well, I was thinking about that. I'm going to focus on LinkedIn, because that's where I've been focusing, helping people with their writing. For those who think, oh, well, I don't want to start posting, I don't know what to say. Either find someone to help you. That would be the first tip. Or start commenting on people's posts, not just thanks for sharing or that's nice or great, but start making thoughtful comments. And that starts you writing, that starts you connecting, that starts you getting into the writing habit, but it also starts taking a connection, from a connection, a name, to a relationship. And something that helped me when I first started getting on LinkedIn and wanting to be active on LinkedIn, it was like, I don't know anybody. What am I going to say? What do I do? And I thought, you know what? Nobody knows me. So I'm going to start pretending. I had to psych myself out. I'm going to start pretending when I found a post that I really could resonate with, that I really liked, I'm going to pretend that person is already a friend. How would I comment on that person's post as if they're already a friend? As silly as that may sound, it helped me immensely. I started commenting in that mindset, so to speak, and actually some of those people have become friends. It didn't happen right away, but start consistently commenting on people's posts. And sometimes your comment can be a way to create your own post.
I think that's a great tip, is think of them as friends already.
Yes.
And then that will help you in your writing process. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Val, for joining me on the Core Women podcast today.
Thank you so much, Summer. It's been a delight.
Absolutely. You can follow Val Roskens Tews on LinkedIn and via email at val@butterflycopywriting.com.
Thank you for joining us on the Core Women podcast with Dr. Summer Watson. We're so glad you're here and would love to connect more with you. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Core Women, and on Twitter at Core Women 1. For more about Core Women and Dr. Watson, visit corewomen.com. Want more support and resources for amazing women like you? Great! Join Dr. Watson and Jen Fontanilla at the Life, Love, and Money Collective, a Core Women production that aids in understanding the key traits that might be getting in the way of living a life that you are absolutely passionate about. Connect with Summer and Jen and find out more at thelifeloveandmoney.com.